What was the question?
So before we get talking about the
Mowgli's sunbathing right now.
100%. This may or may not be in this video or not, but
I thought you double recorded. And I was like waiting for you to press the button. Sorry.
this is a touchy subject.
Boom. Roasted.
You're awesome.
Thanks.
Cool. Here we go. Hi. Welcome in. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Lumix S1RII, which I've gotten a chance to mess with. We rented it for the weekend, and I've loved shooting with it. But I wanted to get a different perspective. I consider myself a DP. I consider myself a videographer. And while there's a lot of great video features in this camera, it's mainly a photo camera. Hence, it's a part of the R line from Lumix. So I wanted a photographer's perspective. And today, I get to have a guest on my channel, someone I've wanted to put on this channel for a very long time, and to help me out with this channel, I get to have my wife, Chloe Jaksa. Hi.
That was the smoothest I was about to say that was the smoothest exit, but I'm entering.
Yeah. You're hilarious. For the people on the internet, who are you?
Wife.
You are my wife. My wife. What is that from? Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
This is my wife.
Anyway.
That was the moment that you showed our age gap on screen.
Oh, 100%.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, millennial thing. Okay.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Chloe. I'm your wife.
Yes, you are. Damn right.
I work in the music industry, and I am also a photographer and musician.
And then you started photography when?
I got my first camera when I was 12 or 13.
Oh, jeez.
It was for a trip to Colorado that I wanted to be able to capture. My little Canon.
Oh, was that the Canon Rebel?
It was Canon Rebel.
Jeez. So then, fast forward to about 6 months ago, you started your own company. What's that called?
WORKSTATION Studios.
Why is it called WORKSTATION Studios?
I think there's power in a name, and so I don't want to just arbitrarily pick a name, and because you told me I wasn't allowed to do, like, Chloe J Studios or something like that. And I was like, but it's identifiable.
Totally.
No one can find my Instagram because it's just my name that they're looking for. Anyway, no, WORKSTATION. You were the one telling me about verite in the documentary world, but it's actually a French word pronounced closer to verite. I know I don't say it perfectly by any means, don't quote my French, but it's basically the art of capturing whatever's in front of you. Naturally, it's truth-driven, it's honest. Yeah.
So before we talk about the Lumix S1R Mark II, you've been shooting on another camera for the past little bit. What camera is that?
Bertha,
as you affectionately call
Lumix
her.
S1R.
Why are you shooting on that camera? And how long have you been shooting on that camera?
I'm shooting on it because it's what we have.
Yes.
And it's what you have.
It's what I've had for a while.
I mean, I was doing shoots on a Canon Rebel prior to the Lumixes, and it was more of a hobby, and if I got paid for it here and there, that was great. But earlier this year? No, last year.
No, you started in what, November? October?
Yeah, I guess like 6-ish months now.
Maybe even September at this point.
6-ish months. I guess 6 months ago, decided to start WORKSTATION.
Because how did that start? Like, where did the vision for WORKSTATION start for you?
I mean, I'm a creative, and I studied music, as you know. But I think in a lot of ways, music became, I don't know, too academic and too official for me. And so, something I'm working through, obviously, because I love music, but like needing a space that was creative. My like 9-to-5 job is behind a desk, and I am very type A and very logistical, but I was starting to go a little crazy, like just sitting behind a camera screen all the time. And as we dream about entrepreneurship and what it could look like when there's kids in the picture to sustain ourselves and not necessarily want to be tied down to the 9-to-5 life, I was like, I wonder if there's a world in which photography could be that for me, because you've had me cover shoots before, but it was never like a super high stakes scenario where it was like providing for our living or like a super crazy client. It was very low stakes, and it was a space for me to be creative and put on that hat, but it's my first love is and always will be music, and so photography has always kind of been the thing that's like, oh, that's still really creative, but I'm less attached to it in a way that's super, super like personal. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, totally. Like where music is that thing that's like a part of you can always go back to. Maybe there's like a real deep personal connection. Photography has always been this fun thing.
Yeah, and it's art, and I love that it's art. I have a deep appreciation for beauty. I think that, I mean, I swore up and down for a long time that I just wanted photography to be a hobby, and it was something that I wanted to learn about to take better photos for myself, but I was scared to allow it to be something more than that, because I was afraid it would be a similar experience to what music has often felt to me, which is just a lot of burnout. And then you got a client and you pitched them photo and then pretty much looked across the room at me and were like, hey, you're gonna learn how to do this by this day because you're gonna get paid for it. And I was like, okay. And that shoot ended up being so fun, and I was like, oh, I just got paid.
Which shoot was that?
That was By Heart.
Oh, yeah. Back in November. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Getting into our main topic, you've shot on the original S1R, but you rented.
We split it.
Did we split it? We did split it. We did split it. We split the rental cost. We have the S1R Mark II. You can see that here. If it'll autofocus.
Nope.
Maybe? No?
Nope.
Never mind.
It's fine.
I love my S1H, but autofocus is not what it's known for.
Oh, it's like it's a Lumix problem.
It was a Lumix problem, but not anymore because of the new cameras. Thank you. This is a touchy subject. Pulling it back. Yes, it was a Lumix thing. My old camera. It's 7 years old. Thank you. A lot of people talk about the video capabilities in this camera, but it is meant as a hybrid photography camera. Even I would go to say 60-40, 70-30 photo over video, even though it can do great video. But it's in the R line, standing for resolution, meaning photography. So why did you rent this camera this weekend?
Yeah, I had a wedding, and I've primarily like shot second, or mostly been doing like portraits or families or couples, like very low stakes kinds of things. And then whenever I'm shooting second, again, just lower stakes. The S1R has been super great. Like, obviously it takes fantastic photos and I have great clients, but there's just definitely been some reliability issues when it comes to autofocus, low light scenarios. It's just an older camera that I just didn't feel like it was gonna cut it for this couple for the wedding.
Totally. So what maybe diving into it a little bit more, what were the big issues with the S1R for you?
I mean, the biggest issue is the focus. The autofocus settings are really limited when it came to trying to pick the right thing for whatever I was shooting. And even like face and eye detect is just like human or animal or off. And it was finicky and would just buffer sometimes. limited in that scenario, and then also the low light capabilities just would like compound onto that. So it was mostly for like second half in the evening and reception that I was like, yeah, there's no way.
You still used it a little bit yesterday.
I used it a little bit, but honestly, the S1R2 just like outperformed it so ridiculously. I ended up putting it away and basically just used the S1R2 for the entire thing. I think I maybe took 50 photos on the S1R.
Really?
That's like how little I actually used it.
Really? Because it just wasn't doing things. Was it autofocus?
It was autofocus. I was like trying to take some sniper shots in the ceremony with the 70-200, and it was just like, and I'm like, we're already on to the next thing. Totally. Like it's too slow in this kind of environment.
That was something I wanted to bring up. Of like, you talked to me and said the S1R is great, but for weddings, we don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're doing a couples shoot and you're outside in a meadow and you have an hour and a half to your name, it's like if it's buffering to focus, that's fine. You can just redo it. Like no one's on a time crunch.
Yeah.
And I mean, even some of the other live events we've done, it's mostly been like low pressure B-roll where it's like whatever I want to do as versus whatever I need to get.
Yeah.
And when some of those moments like putting on a ring or going for that first kiss are so high pressure and you just can't miss it, it was just a non-negotiable. There was no way for the S1R.
And then as well, you talking about the wedding you shot yesterday. I'll throw up some photos from the wedding. They aren't edited right now, but by the time we make this video, those photos will be edited. Moving on, what did you love? And maybe love's a little bit too leading of a question, but like, what was your experience using the S1R Mark II yesterday?
I'm trying to put a percentage to it, like 85% fantastic.
Okay.
I loved it, especially compared to
going
Bertha.
from
but
the
there
original.
were definitely like it's not a perfect camera by any means, but it is leaps and bounds above the original.
Totally.
And made my day so much easier than it could have been if I had only used this rig.
Totally.
Wedding would not have happened with the S1R only. I've heard you say in some videos before that you have big hands, and so you like the largeness of this. Bertha's chonky fits my hand fine because I have like musician hands, but it's heavy. I mean, the first draw factor, especially when using a camera for such a long day, like you already have less weight. Like we had it for the 3 days prior to the
Yeah, we
wedding?
had a couple days
2 or 3
early.
days to play with it
Get
and
used to it.
I mean, I think the first thing I was blown away with was just all of the options. The autofocus modes are so much more extensive than the S1R. There's like 5 burst settings to work with, maybe even 6 as versus like 2 or 3. So there's just so much more customization within it that made my day way easier. Setting the burst to a medium and a high that were reliable, testworthy. We tested it on Mowgli.
Yep, testing on the dog.
The autofocus has like distinction between animal and human and like automobile, and then also has like eyes and face, body, all 3. So much more extensive and so much better.
Totally.
It was my first time like really like diving in and setting the custom modes to where I wanted it, and that was even a huge thing, like C1, C2, C3, C4. Another thing I really enjoyed about it was the low light improvement. The ISO capabilities are more expansive than the S1R, and it just made the whole camera function better, especially once we got that dusk hour. Indoor settings were way easier. Normally I'm relying on flash or just praying that I can find some like secondary light sources or something to keep me going without hitting noise on the S1R, but this one you can do higher ISOs than really anything before you hit noise. And then also just the new design on the screen, flipping out, being able to bring it in and out, especially when you're doing funky angles in a ceremony.
Compared to the original S1R, all you could do is come out.
Yeah.
And then if you were like maybe doing a low shot, you could bring it out this way, but you could never bring it sideways.
So that was super helpful. Yeah, all in all, it was really, really great.
So you talked about 80% of it was an improvement, which is a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Compared to the original camera. What were some of the things that you struggled with, or you're like, I wish they could improve those more?
I think the only things that I guess made my day harder, one of them we figured out prior was like some of these video buttons are right where a photographer doesn't want them to be. And so I had never really used the lock lever before, but I had to, because when we were practicing, I hit this little red guy at least 5 times, and I was like, that can't happen at the wedding. And so it was my first time customizing the lock lever because I needed to, and not because I had some fancy customization of all the buttons going on.
Which the camera before this camera, the lock lever was on the S1R, but then they went away from it.
Oh, funny.
And then like on the S5 II, S5 IIX, and now they've brought it back, and you like actually used it. I've never really used it before. Yeah. But
I think it's not that I wanted to, it was imperative because of how I typically hold a camera. You can tell me I hold a camera wrong, but it was just this button was really, really sensitive.
Totally.
And so as a photographer, it was a button that I didn't need. My biggest issue was this dude. This battery sucks. I brought every battery we owned and the charger, as every wedding photographer should. But I'm used to this guy. Size comparison.
Yeah.
It's still focused on my face, but
it's
it's fine. Like, I had high hopes for this little guy, and wrong. I was just wrong. I think we had 3 or 4
You had 3,
spares.
I think, with you.
I think I had 3 with me. I think I rotated 6 or 7 times. I was constantly charging a battery. It was just like, we were like, by the end of the ceremony, and like a third into the family portraits, I looked down and I had 1 bar and the camera was buffering, and I was like, praise God I have a battery in my pocket and not over where the reception hall is right now, because I would have been totally screwed just based on the battery life. Granted, there is a battery grip, but previously I really didn't enjoy the battery grip when using the S1R. It was just big and bulky. The camera was already heavy, smaller hands, lady arms, you know. And so I was really...
Don't discount your arms. You have strong arms.
We're growing.
Yes. You go to the gym?
I do. But I just wasn't confident in making that decision, and I was barely through the day, and I was already thinking to myself, dang, we should have done the battery grip on this, because these are just trash.
Totally. I think it's tough. I think Lumix has wanted to make the... what's this one called? The BLK22. Like, they've wanted to make this kind of their battery for everything. I'm pretty sure the S9 uses it. The S5 II and IIX use this battery. The GH7 might use this battery as well. So I'm guessing they wanted to, like, this new line of S1 cameras use it too, and it allows them to make the body smaller. But especially on a wedding, and I'm guessing you're just like, camera has to stay on because I could need to take photos at any moment. Walking
from one part of the venue to the next, it's off, but it's running for sure.
So yeah, for those of you who need really good battery life, definitely something to keep in mind. Anything else, like problems with the camera?
I don't think so. There were a couple moments where this screen like buffered, and I would like go to autofocus and the screen would just go black. And I don't know if that was a low battery issue. I don't know if I don't know what that was. I mean, it didn't happen enough for it to be like a super, super, super issue.
Totally.
Honestly, I hit a point where I just turned the camera off, turned it back on, and it didn't really happen again.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, no. Like, it served me really, really well.
Final thoughts between the S1R, S1R Mark II, in the great words of Uncensored Podcast by Brandon and Jarrell. Are you talking or are you buying?
I'm buying yesterday and throwing away the S1R. I don't even need to sell it. Like, throw it out the window, let it be an experiment. It can explode, and it's not like some AI explosion. It's a real explosion of the camera falling out the window.
It's still my camera. Don't want that to do that. I don't want to destroy any gear. However, complete tangent, I have thought it would be cool to like take a camera apart in slices and have it like be an art piece to where you can see the different slices of it. Anyway, you want the S1R Mark II.
Hands down. Like, I have a shoot next week, a maternity shoot, and I am genuinely so sad that I have to use the S1R again.
You have to go back.
Yeah, I felt really spoiled. I think maybe I'm biased because I've never used like a really professional Canon or Sony. I was interested to try a Fuji just on the color basis and because I do enjoy film. But I mean, if industry standard is like Canon and Sony primarily for reliability, like this was up to par and it was fantastic.
Totally, yeah. I mean, that most people use Sony or Canon. Mm-hmm. They just have the most market share. Mm-hmm. That was something you were thinking about doing for a little while, mm-hmm. and then I was like, just stay with Lumix and we can save money. But now that you have this new option, mm-hmm. does it, you said you want to buy the camera, but does it also make you, I guess, okay with not trying other camera brands?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah? Because I want this camera too.
I mean, just as a personality type, like, I like to form opinions that are fully educated. Yeah. And as a, like, hands-on learner, the only way that I feel like I could really answer that question is if I did, like, rent a Fuji for a day and then rent a Sony for a day. But, I mean, the only reason I was ever even considering the other brands was because this didn't exist and the S1R wasn't reliable. Yeah. And I knew that as I get into higher pressure scenarios and or like start pursuing more weddings, like I was gonna need to start making a decision eventually. Mm-hmm. I think this would be a fantastic rig. I'd still love to try other things just for funsies, but this did the job.
When you get more weddings and have more budget, can rent you a Canon R5 Mark II for a weekend, and then oh my gosh, what did we do for Sony?
A
Sony A7R 5.
Something like that.
I think so.
I know it's like Sony A something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which I think this, like, you give a good, your perspective's really valid in this video. Because, and this is in no way offensive, like, you're a photographer, you're not a like camera nerd, technical,
right? Like,
I have to learn all these different specs.
I think I've realized, kind of because of you, I have a much deeper understanding of specs than some other people necessarily would, who are significantly more professional than I am.
Yeah, but like, you're a photographer.
Yeah.
You get to talk about your experience as a photographer.
Yeah.
Not a camera nerd person.
Right.
Totally. Cool. Final words?
No, just buy me a camera.
Buy you the camera? Okay. Do you have anything to say for the people on YouTube? Should they buy the S1R Mark II?
My husband's hot.
I did get sunburned today.
Yeah, I get that.
Being in the pool.
Yeah.
Cool. Baby.
Cool.
Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah.
I wanted to have you on the channel in some way.
It was
for
a
a
little
while.
scary.
Oh, was it?
A little bit.
I loved your perspective, and I'm really grateful that you were willing to do this.
Thanks.
I love you.
Kisses.
Kisses.
Mwah.
Bye. Okay, Nick Miller. Okay. I hope everyone thought that was helpful. If you have any questions about the Lumix S1R, ask them in the comments. And then I'm also going to link my wife's photography studio in the comments as well. If you need portrait photography for any reason, feel free to hit her up, and we'd love to shoot something with you. So with that said, hope you have a great day. I'll see you later. Peace.